Remember, they explained that him being non-binary is inappropriate because it's a kid's show. But also, you need Rogue's ass to be super fucking juicy in the kids show.
Idealism is not a good thing to sell children, but sex, that and violence, absolutely, we could sell.
Yeah. Now, if you already dislike these anti-woke grifters and want to know how to fight them, there is something easy you can do right now. I know it sounds self-serving, but liking this video, commenting, and subscribing to this channel do help take algorithm space away from these grifters. Well, that brings us to a little series called X-Men 97. Have you heard of this before?
I have. I've heard of the old version.
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of dropping my hints of what I thought for a while, and I know I'll talk about it on live stream. But Bobby, this is your first chance. What do you think?
Holy shit balls! I did not realize Cyclops was that much of a badass. Let's talk about him for a second.
I'm down.
First episode, okay?
Yeah.
Where that Sentinel grabs the Blackbird, right? And he just like turns around and takes out the arm and decapitates it. The whole ship's going down, you know. So Rogue and Storm save everyone that can't fly. Archangel swoops in. I didn't even know he was there, but good thing.
No, that was actually Morph.
That was Morph. That would have been Morph. Yeah. I was just more focused on the fact that that Cyclops didn't need a parachute. He just created a fucking crater in the earth.
Yeah.
Like. After that, I was like, Mr. Summers, I'd like to apologize for all those times I called you a little bitch.
Yeah. No, like, dude, when he was
stand
first
corrected.
Introduced, and they foreshadowed that crater scene really brilliantly when he comes jumping in that first fight scene, and you see him like punching people, but also blasting people, but also using his blaster to change positions, which is wild.
You mentioned that first fight scene, okay? Yeah. So when those jerks from Humans of or Friends of Humanity or whatever the hell,
Proud Boys, what?
Yeah, them. When they're cornering that young man and the thunder's happening in the background, I was watching it, going, "Oh, you fucked up now." Like I know what comes after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Thor. It's worse than Thor.
Yeah.
And, you know, Storm gets knocked down and went, and cue Cyclops. And boom, side of the door bust open and go, yep, there's Scott.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little disappointed we didn't get a Wolverine introduction at that scene, but I was very pleased with his introduction in the show when they did. Like when he's in the danger room and he's on that guy's back, the two outside blades are on either side of his neck. And it's like, oh, this is a great mirage. It's like, all right, you can turn off your computer game. You know what? Good idea. Computer off, shut program off, and it's done. And Wolverine's still there with the claw out. It's like, yeah, that's Wolverine.
That boy is gonna need a new pair of pants, Wolverine.
Christ, dude, it's his first day. He already woke up to Beast.
Salutations and welcome.
Nicholas, I would say it is up to you. I will say the X-Men 90s show, it has good writing. The animation gets very, very wonky.
Yeah,
especially in season 5.
Yeah, the animation gets a little spotty near the end, but stories,
it's good.
Holy God, yes.
But you don't need to watch it. I would also say you can dive straight into X-Men 97 and enjoy it. There will be little Easter eggs throughout 97 if you're familiar with the animated series, but you don't need to know them.
Such wonders in this city. Long as he left those faithful killer monks of his back at the monastery. Scimitar tongue, Gambit.
There'll be little references though.
Episode 2, I was very satisfied because even like with the end of the first one, I was like, oh my God, are they doing House of M? Are they doing this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are they doing like their own take on House of M? This is awesome. This is awesome. But they ended up telling their own story.
Yeah, well, they definitely took comic book elements. Like I remember the Bastion storyline. Apparently, Bastion has a couple storylines, and I remember the first one from comic book and not being too thrilled with it. And really, like X-Men '97 does a way better job with it. In my opinion,
but he
with
fucked
Operation
up.
Zero Tolerance.
He
yeah.
fucked up.
Oh yeah.
He fucked up.
Oh. But
I forget what it is I exactly sent you. Yeah. No, he fucked up.
But the other thing the other big event that happens is the Genosha Massacre, which happens. I want to say that's during Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, which is I want to say mid-aughts. I think I had the graphic novel for that if I remember. But which is that is a wild event. So yeah, I mean I've talked about on and off, but yeah, I kind of love this series, even though like I think there are some very obvious flaws, and I am doing an essay going over this and also going over the Chud reaction because goddamn Chuds took L's on this series, which I love.
But the fact that it's like both in the 90s of approval ratings, like fans and critics, and
just everybody's loving it, and the Chud reaction to this series was wild. Like before it came out, like the Chuds took every available opportunity to complain about this series. I think the biggest one was Rogue's ass not being as prominent, even though why
are they staring at the ass of a cartoon character?
Yeah, exactly. But they were focusing on one scene from the animated series where obviously the animator was doing it one-handed or some shit. But
cannot oppose me. You're corrupt, like all the others. You must be exterminated.
We
for the most
saw
part, the animated series
is nowhere near as I've seen it depicted. We watched that episode, and no, that's not what her ass looked like.
But there's that one. There's the Morph being non-binary, of course.
This is how it goes with Disney. The moment that you see something you're maybe a little bit excited about, well, then we get this right here from X-Men Updates. Morph's characterization in X-Men '97. This is a lighter take on the character who is non-binary and has an interesting buddy relationship with Wolverine. The character's past with Mr. Sinister, the show's villain, could also come into play. And boom, done. See you later. It's over. I retweeted this. Simply put, fuck this show. Again, it's Disney. What do you expect?
Who gives a shit?
He's a shapeshifter who can literally change his gender at will. So I don't know. It kind of makes sense.
Well, no, I'm asking who gives a shit if he is or not. Like,
there's also that too. Yes. Well, remember, they explained that him being non-binary is inappropriate because it's a kid's show. But also, you need Rogue's ass to be super fucking juicy in the kids' show.
Idealism is not a good thing to sell children, but sex, that and violence, absolutely, we could sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that they would just love the tobacco industry's numbers.
Oh yeah, and the other thing that they went after him was there was this frame of Storm wearing a suit.
Storm shows off her new look for Jubilee. Oh my god! Again, this is gonna be in the thumbnail for sure. Like this fucking picture. Wow, why would you do this to Storm? Why, man? God, Jesus. I don't know how much more of this I could take. The uglification of women. I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to read a lot of manga and watch a lot of anime to offset the unbelievable monstrosities that Western creators are coming out with, whether it's Western developers for gaming or Western studios for TV shows and movies. I don't know what's going on. All I know is there's ugly bitches making ugly characters. That's essentially what's really happening. Look at this. Look at that neck. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the collarbone. This woman this is not a woman. This is 100% trans person.
And they were like, oh my God, they're emasculating Storm. And it was so dumb because number one, Storm's worn suits so many times at comic book, it doesn't matter. But that wasn't even from the fucking series. It was from the tie-in comic book. But part of the reason why it's interesting, why their reaction to it was interesting, because once the show came out and everybody started loving it, the chuds went fucking dead silent on it. Like they were just like, oh shit. Like nobody was talking about, even though like that was the point where the algorithm was really hot and they usually pound this stuff when it's on. They went silent. And then they didn't start talking about it a little bit until after it ended. And they started talking about how it didn't make the Nielsen top 10.
Saw this making its round. That despite what people are saying, that, hey, it's not so bad. Maybe there's others that are a little divisive on that. But a lot of folks are out there saying that X-Men 97 is okay. Some are even calling it great.
To me, my X-Men.
What good does that do you if this is the result?
That thing for recording broadcast ratings, that was very relevant
So they go
before
off
the age of streaming.
dates. So they go on
Yeah.
streaming dates, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
Because that is so wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was such a
Here's
bizarre
what
reaction.
they're doing. Straw. Jesus
But, yeah.
fucking.
It was kind of funny seeing all their reaction to this and kind of just failing. And a couple of them actually did come out and say, hey, it's good. And then it's worth noting the ones that came out and said it's good did it. I don't know if any of them did it on videos, but they did it on Twitter. One of them did it on Twitter and blocked all the me and the other guys in the initiative because they knew we would talk about it. But we got screenshots.
Message me their name.
Oh, Yellowflash, But
Okay. I'm not in the initiative, so I'm not blocked.
oh no, we got the screenshot. We're fine. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. You went through and surgically blocked all.
You said yellow. You said yellow. What?
Yellowflash is actually it. I call him Yellowflash.
Oh, what, yellow flash guy.
Yes, Yellowflash guy. That's it.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, he's really noteworthy because he did the post talking about how good it was, and then once it ended, he started grifting on, but it's a failure because it's not in the Nielsen top 10. Oh dear.
All right, since we're talking about this and Marvel, here is a great example of people being turned off, and they don't even come back for good things now. X-Men 97, I find to be the biggest proof of brand damage for them because this show is legit and nobody cares.
These guys are so disingenuous. It's ridiculous. And frankly, X-Men 97 is fantastic. The animation, I would say, is better than anything from the animated series. Even when the animated series was good with the animation, this is better. The storylines were great. Like, I feel like it in a lot of ways it is a continuation of the animated series because it picks up with the same characters more or less where we left them off at. Granted, it's supposed to be a couple months later, but it's more or less there. I mean, Morph was still there, popped up in the last episode, and it's easy to assume he just hung out. And then sometime between there, Bishop got time portaled in and got stuck for a little bit. And that's probably about it. And then, you talk about Cyclops. There's so many characters who are badass here. Magneto, fucking badass. Even though like he goes villain again at the end of the season. He really does try. Like even though he does it in his own Magneto way, he really does try to do Xavier's route. Like he is honoring his friend, and you can tell.
Yeah. Oh God, this.
You looked at his timeline.
I did.
He is a super chud, dude.
That's what I've been doing this whole time. Did you just not see this? Oh. What were your favorite moments of the season, man?
Villains of the season.
Favorite moments, not villains.
Oh, moments. Okay. Okay. Well, it has to go Genosha Massacre, even though, like, god damn, that was heart wrenching. But holy shit,
that really was. But also, Magneto was right. I in the season still with that belief. Yeah.
Well, I mean, before the Genosha thing, there's that moment where Cyclops has that, like, he has that moment with the reporter where he kind of just lets loose, and he's like, "Thank God we're not humans, because if we treated you like you treated us, then you wouldn't fucking, you'd be wiped out. You wouldn't want that." And
Because I have to stomach your questions and prove that I'm a person. I lie because the truth is we're nothing like you. Thank God, because it's the only reason you people are still alive.
Yeah. And
then later we get to see how the humans treat them, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, I'm
Christ.
kind of happy that scene happened, and then the Genosha. Yeah, that was rough to watch. I did like watching the reunion of Gambit, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. Or not Cyclops,
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
And it is fun seeing Nightcrawler become a main X-Men, which...
And it's also really cool to watch him handle 3 swords at once.
Why resist the inevitable?
Lady, I got 6 reasons why.
No, mein Freund. 9.
Yes. No, I love that. No, that's another moment I love. So other moments I love is I like when Rogue kind of takes her dark turn. I kind of fucking
Which I like. I love that. Yeah. I loved all that. I was here for that.
Where, like, she's holding Trask over the roof and she just drops him.
I'm sorry. I have nothing.
Same, sugar.
And it's like, damn.
Atta girl.
It's like that's hardcore. Like, I get it. I get why you did it, but damn. But then the Tolerance's extinction when that Sentinel army was fucking over the mansion, and Wolverine and Nightcrawler get that moment to just fucking tear through a whole bunch of them.
I got 6 reasons for you. Yeah, I was more surprised, like, oh, they're actually showing some violence in this, but
yeah,
we got treated to, which I'm surprised we haven't even talked about yet. The big moment of this season. Losing a team member.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did talk about it. It's the Genosha massacre, but
we didn't say whom or any of the moment.
It's
been out long enough.
Yeah, so spoiler warning. I can't stress this enough. If you have not seen this series, watch this series. It is so fucking good. It is
hit mute for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. But so god damn. That ending for Gambit. Holy shit.
The name's Gambit, mon ami. Remember it.
I like how
badass.
I like how earlier it showed that he's been upgrading his powers. How, like, he was charging Wolverine's, like, claws.
Yeah.
So, like, you could tell he's learning to manipulate more things than just cards.
Mm-hmm.
But taking that barter that was in him,
yeah,
just fucking badass.
Yeah.
Gambit's a badass.
Yeah, dude. And this is so comic book inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, they'll bring Gambit back, but like, the fact is they're treating it seriously as a death, as they should. And we're gonna, probably midway through next season would be the soonest I see them bringing him back, which means, a year without him, which is, that's pretty hardcore, especially for a children's show. Like, the original animated series, frankly, never would have done that.
No, they never would have killed a main like that.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially like, because this is definitely for the fans of the original, but grown up. Because this is like I said, I'm surprised at as much blood as we saw in it.
Mm-hmm. No, well, I mean, that whole Genosha massacre was hardcore. I mean, and Magneto, when he's talking about, essentially when he does his villain turn and he's telling Charles about the Leech. how that Sentinel was blasting at him, and
That
Magneto
line,
just told him,
yeah,
"Don't worry." And then Magneto's explaining how Leech was just fucking just destroyed in front of him.
I promised a boy a future free of fear, only to watch his frightened eyes be vaporized inside his tiny skull.
It was actually that line that made me kind of really side with Magneto on there. Like, yeah, you were right. You were right this whole time. After hearing how he felt about it, and in that moment, like, he was right, man. He was right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Hedgehog Nerd goes over a lot of the cameos.
Yeah.
The only one I'm noting that I don't know if you got was Black Panther was in this as well.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. There was probably more than even that, but yeah.
See, I was hoping like the actor. I was hoping we'd get some lines from Spider-Man, because even like the first time we saw him, I was just like, "Holy shit, Spider-Man!"
Well, very few of them actually get lines. Obviously, Captain America gets some lines because he actually has an exchange with Rogue. You can actually see her holding his shield here where she throws it off, and it's like, wow, Rogue is pissed.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, Rogue's about that life.
Yeah. So just another thing I will say that this series made me realize was how, we got used to those Fox X-Men movies, and like there are a few good ones, but like, this is what X-Men's actually supposed to be like. Like, it just feels so fresh to actually see like the X-Men how they're meant to be, kind of portrayed in a medium besides comic books. And the animated series did fairly well, but it's been so long since we've seen that. And then we just get those X-Men movies, and like I said, there's a few that are good. A lot of them directed by no one and just came to existence strangely enough, which is strange. But hey, Matthew Vaughn did a good one. Goddamn, I don't know who somebody fairly famous did the Deadpool movie. I'm brain farting though. It's Tim Miller. And then James Mangold did Logan. That was fantastic, but not comic book accurate. But yeah, this is our first time seeing comic book accurate X-Men in a long time. And I would even say it's better than the last time we've seen them. And it is so awesome to see them. And it really gets me excited to see kind of mutants in the MCU. And I want them to handle it kind of as much like this as possible. Like, we're fully embracing the Friends of Humanity aspect. We're fully embracing all the bigotry angles, all the social justice angles of it. But we're also fully embracing aliens and Magneto having an asteroid base and all the weird shit too. We're going to fully embrace all of it. And I'm fucking down for it. I want to see next season. I want to see what they do with the mutants in the MCU, which I guess we'll get our first taste of mutants in the MCU in a couple of months.
Because they ended it and half the team was one spot, the other half was elsewhere.
Well, it was a bit more. So we actually don't know where Wolverine and Morph are, but we can assume they're at one of the two spots. But we have Jean and Cyclops way off in the future. And then everyone else besides Wolverine and Morph, who we don't know yet, are in the past. I want to say it's like Rogue, Magneto, Professor X.
And Forge.
No, Forge was left behind.
That's right. Forge was left behind.
As well as Jubilee and Sunspot. Jubilee was the most significant character who didn't get portaled in time.
Yeah, that's right. So they might be
Beast
back
is in the past as well.
Yeah, Beast.
So yeah, and obviously they're setting up Apocalypse stuff. Quick nitpick. Magneto recovers really well after getting impaled through the chest by Wolverine.
You are a traitor to your race.
Like, holy shit, he seems fine.
Wolverine seemed to do pretty good after getting all that adamantium ripped out of his entire existence.
Well, he's still on the bed last we saw, so he really didn't get any action last episode.
Breathing.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that was like they do hit on lots of big moments of the comic books. Like him getting that adamantium sucked out of him was a big deal in the comic book. God, the Genosha Massacre was a big deal. They're hitting on lots of big deals in the comic book. But the fact is, like, X-Men have like 50 years of history at this point plus. There's lots of big deals they can hit on and still have plenty to go for. So yeah, I'm excited to see future seasons. Bo DeMaio, I will say, as the showrunner, he did a fantastic job with this. I don't know why he was fired. I would like to know why he was fired, whether or not I would give my 2 cents or not I want him hired back or not. But I do want to say I think he did a really good job of season 1. And to my understanding, most of the story ideas will stick around with season 2. So I have a good idea what they're going to do with the storyline, especially considering what's happened to some of the characters. But, you know, let's wait and see as well, because they could throw some loops as well.
They could.
But yes. Fantastic job. Who like, you know, let's go over some favorite characters before we sign out on X-Men. Who were some of your favorites this season?
Cyclops, Magneto, Jubilee, Rogue, and Gambit.
Yeah. That
I wish
I might add Storm, but yeah, that's pretty much a good.
I wish that I got more with the inner war that Morph was going through.
Yeah,
but for what we got of it, I really enjoyed.
I wish
we got more of that.
Yeah, he did eventually get a little sting on Mr. Sinister. I was kind of hoping for a bit more of a resolution on that.
Show me my face.
Looks the same to me.
That being said, we do get that in the original animated series, so they don't need to focus on it too much. And I think it is worth noting, Morph is one of the most powerful mutants on the team. Like, they really we only had one episode of him like actually copying characters and copying their physical abilities.
I loved it when he turned into the fucking
series,
Hulk.
which I love.
I loved it when he turned into the fucking Hulk.
Yeah, Morph smash.
Yeah, that I was like, oh, he's the fucking Hulk right now. That's awesome.
Yeah. Jubilee, I think, is another really good one because I feel like Jubilee is really coming into her own. I think also in the comic book as well. A little bit I've read of her in the comic book.
Yeah, I liked how she got to run into her older self, and her older self is doing this new one. She's like, "Wait, I could do that."
She's like, well, yeah, her powers, like she's getting really creative and cool with the powers, but also, like she was always this kind of the kid character, kind of learning. She's the one that gets in trouble and result, and the team has to save her. And she really seems to be coming into her own as just being a hero and just be kind of a badass and just going out and helping people on her own and stuff like that. And she's kind of quickly becoming a character I really like. As I used to think she was fine, but she was never one of my favorites. And now I'm finally, after like 30 years, I'm like, you know what? She might be one of my favorites now.
Yeah. I even like the episode with her and Mojo. Like, I actually enjoyed the Mojo.
I wasn't thrilled with that one. That was probably my low point for the season, but you know what? It is better than any Mojo stuff we've got in the animated series.
I thought the Two Genes was kind of the low point. Cool story, but we should have had Sinister more present in that episode, I felt.
So the Two Genes story, I have serious there. Real quick, I want to say something positive about that episode. There is a nightmare sequence that the X-Men go through. That's actually fucking awesome. Right?
Like,
oh my god, it's like some Freddy Krueger stuff.
All of that was like,
all for
I'm here for this. Like, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But the Gambit gets the I can't unsee that line. There's the but yeah, that storyline is super rushed. Essentially, Madeline Pryor gets one episode to be a villain, and then she's the hero again, and then she's dead.
Then she dies.
Yeah,
quite horrifically. Actually, I might add.
I want to say, like, it's not just Gambit. They kill a lot of the recurring characters.
It was one where I would have been okay. I was like, okay, getting okay with the storyline, and then they fucking kill her.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, Cable runs up. I'm so sorry, Mom. Gone. Boom. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
It's definitely more Cables there, and it's like, oh, shit.
Mhm.
Like, what's going on?
And Cable is another one that we saw like sporadically throughout the animated series, but like here we actually get a bit more development of him, where it's actually revealed that he is Madeline's and Scott's son from the future. And he is a bit of a tool of Sinister as well, without even knowing it. Overall, just it's great series. You kind of went over my favorites. Yeah, I think Rogue is a badass here. I think Magneto's a badass. I think Cyclops is a badass. Fucking Gambit. Fucking yes, we will remember it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Damn. Jubilee is really coming into her own. I'm sure we're probably gonna get plenty of Wolverine, because I want to stress Wolverine's like it's so standard to say, but yes, Wolverine is one of my favorite X-Men, as he is for many people. He didn't get as many standout moments in this season as he would normally, but I'm sure he'll get more. And he was very good in this season. That moment with him and Nightcrawler tearing through those Sentinels was fucking awesome. And I'm excited to get more Nightcrawler. I hope he stays around for at least a couple more seasons, because Nightcrawler's always been one of my favorite X-Men. Despite the fact that I'm not really thrilled with religion, and he is super religious, he's been one of my favorites because he always just preached essentially being good to each other, and I can get behind that aspect of religion. Absolutely.
So, did you notice that the guy who did Cable sounded an awful lot like Josh Brolin?
So much so that I had to look up and make sure it wasn't Josh Brolin, because I noted that. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound like the dude from the original animated series.
Now! He's coming!
Who's coming? Cable, what's going on? Body slide 1.
No! Not again. I'm so sorry, Mom.
But he is also straight doing Josh Brolin, and I'm okay with
absolutely.
this. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so is Josh Brolin being both Cable and Thanos canon in the MCU now?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Well, we need a team up movie then, Thanos and Cable.
No, it's just going to be Terrence Howard.
Oh, the return of Terrence Howard.
The return of Terrence Howard.
We got a new movie coming out called The Return of the Original War Machine. Armor Wars is going to be Terrence Howard versus Don Cheadle.
He's an all right actor.
Terrence Howard, I think, is decent, but yeah, I prefer Don Cheadle by like a mile.
It just seems like, this seems like, but he was out of his damn mind thinking he's going to get more than the lead. Like,
yeah, like it's like, dude, you stumbled into luck with that first movie where you made more than the lead. You are not repeating that. And I know Kevin Feige even said like Don Cheadle was his first pick for the role, but he was busy at the time. They're an upstart studio and they wanted to get shooting so they get a movie out. And I get that. And I am happy Don Cheadle came back. But yes. X-Men 97. In case you can't tell, we liked this show.
Yes, this
it was okay.
Show.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to call you because I was binging it the day that I was texting you about it. I binged it all in one sitting.
Damn.
Yeah, the third one was the last 3 episodes were definitely the marathon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, what a twisted name for a 3-parter though, especially for a children's show. Like Tolerance is Extinction. Dang it. But yeah, we spoiled it, but yeah, it's a great series. This is definitely the highlight of this week. X-Men 97.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what X-Men need to be like in the MCU. Frankly, this is a great template. This is showing me that they have people there that know what they're doing. Do this for the movies, and I'll be happy. It's all I'm asking.
You were my first students. My family. I wanted you to be free. My X-Men.
We have to be strong. For the team. For every mutant still out there. They need hope.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.